What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Burnout Brighter. My name is Matt, and today we're going to be talking about the latest Black Panther expansion for Marvel's Avengers titled War for Wakanda. Now, I've just finished the main mission chain through War for Wakanda. Took me about 4 to 6 hours, somewhere in that time frame. Now that I haven't done the iconic chain for him yet, I haven't done a bunch of the other missions that I've popped. I've kind of just focused on the main mission series for this video. Now, let's start with some of the good. Now, for Marvel's Avengers, it's had a quite rocky history until this point. There's been a lot of complaints about the way that the loot works, the way that the gameplay works, and just a lot of complaints around the game. Now, I myself actually quite enjoyed the main campaign when it came out. I had a lot of fun playing with the different characters and using them in different ways and kind of going up against MODOK. The DLCs so far have left me kind of whatever. Kate's set was fine. Hawkeye's Future Imperfect was a massive letdown in my opinion. It kind of just amounted to nothing. And now we have the first full major expansion with War for Wakanda. Let's start with the good, because Black Panther himself is a lot of fun to play with. He's got a really great moveset. He feels good. Chris Judge, who voices him, does a fantastic job with Black Panther, with T'Challa, and it was a joy to play with him. I actually really enjoyed him, and he's probably going to be one of my mains if I continue playing with this game. His moveset varies quite a bit through your up close and personal attacks, with your light and heavies, and along with your ranged and your special abilities. He's got some good variety to him. Black Panther also has this lunge ability where he's able to lunge on top of an enemy, knock them over, and you can kind of stay on top of them, grappling them and scratching them out. This move seemingly has no range max. Like, as long as you can lock onto an enemy, you can actually lunge that distance. So there'll be moments where I was way far away from an enemy and I would be able to lock onto them, and almost like teleporting, he'd be on top of them, scratching them out. And sometimes that would make the camera go wonky. Sometimes that would make the, if we were standing near a ledge, we'd go flying off the ledge. There was just a lot broken around this move, and I found myself using it over and over again just because it seems to be overpowered and takes enemies down quickly. It's a fun move, but like kind of really weirdly inserted, and like I said, just it doesn't seem like it's fine-tuned given how massive the reach is, and you would think that it would be something that you would use against enemies that are closer to you rather than way far away, even in a higher or lower elevation, and you just pretty much warp on top of them and start attacking them. It's just kind of weirdly put in. Wakanda itself is quite beautiful. It looks great. A lot of the other voice acting surrounding Judge is again really well done. The story itself is fine. It's serviceable. It doesn't do anything groundbreaking. It doesn't do anything massive, but it's all right. You'll kind of see where you're going with the story, but there are moments that are genuinely awesome and moments that are just fine. So the story itself is fine. Now, I have a lot of issues with War for Wakanda for a few different reasons. This does nothing to shake up the formula for what this game already is. If you were coming into the expansion with a little hope that they might be taking a little bit more risks, they might be doing things a little bit differently, they're not. If you like Avengers for what it is now, I'm sure you'll have plenty to like in War for Wakanda. For myself, I've had very middling feelings for the game, and this one didn't really do much for me to push me either way. I genuinely get so frustrated with the way that Crystal Dynamics handles their mission design, especially for Avengers. Here are all of these enemies, fight through them all, hit a couple buttons, here's another corridor, or here's another expansive space with not much to do, rinse, repeat. If I have to fight another large enemy with where I start by attacking its feet, then moving up a level to whatever vents are next, and then getting to the top, there's nothing new here. Even the new enemies are generally more frustrating than anything else. If I see another one of those mech spiders, I'm going to throw something out the window. They're genuinely so frustrating to go up against, and there isn't that much variety here. And I think that's what I wanted more than anything. I wanted them to show us with War for Wakanda that there is a future for this game outside of just what it currently is. Because what it currently is at its best, fine. The mission structure, again, doesn't change much. You'll go from one location to the next. Our aim fortresses from before, where it's just corridor after corridor, now just becomes different temples in Wakanda. The enemies, again, there are new status variations. There's new things going on in the game. It's just not very fun, nor is it very well put together. I had plenty of weird graphical issues. I had plenty of weird hangups. T'Challa got stuck on the geometry of the levels enough times, and I'm talking about like there's flat land with the rock sticking up, and T'Challa just got stuck on top of the rock until an enemy knocked him off. It's so frustrating. There's just nothing new here. If you went into this with, a little bit more expectations for the crystal to take a little bit more risks with the mission structure, play a little bit with the way that the things are, it's just not there. And that sucks. I really want, and I was really hoping that War for Wakanda would kind of be their massive coming out party where they just come back swinging, making a case for why this game deserves to be played and deserves to continue. The movement mechanics have always been something that have bothered me about Avengers, and this does really nothing to change. Black Panther himself feels generally fine, but I had so many moments where he just got stuck on a wall run where I would jump onto the wall and he would just cling to the side rather than run against the wall. There was platforming sections that just don't work given how the movement works for these characters. It's just not very fun. And if they always go back to the same, here's a point or 3 points, defend it, and then we move on. Or here's a group of enemies, kill them, and we move on. Or find the switches hidden around this area, hit them, and move on. Nothing ever changes outside of those 3 principles. Nothing ever goes outside of that. And it sucks. It sucks. This game and these characters and this legacy behind all of this, there's so much there that they could tap into, and they just don't. Spoilers, if you're going into this completely not knowing anything, Crossbones is there. His boss battle is one of the least inventive and most boring bosses I've ever fought any time in recent game history. It's just hit him, run over there, hit the thing while he's down, hit him, run over there, hit the thing while it's down. It's just, he did next to no damage for me in our first encounter, and I wasn't even trying that hard. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating because there are good parts to this. The voice cast is great. Wakanda looks beautiful. I wish we saw more of the city itself. I wish we had some missions inside the actual city rather than just the greenery, the grasslands, and, inside of various temples and buildings, because it would have been cool to see Wakanda on the streets. I just don't know if this is going to be enough to bring enough players back in and to keep them here once and if they come back. The swinging mechanics in this game, I cannot tell you how many times I was just kind of either went through a branch sticking out that's meant to be swung on, or just kind of completely missed the grab. If Spider-Man swings like anything does in this current game right now, especially compared to Insomniac Spider-Man, it's gonna be rough goes. I really wanted to like War for Wakanda. I found myself frustrated and worse, bored through a lot of it. Again, similarly to the base game, when you're not in a mission, you're just running from from room to room in the palace, just talking to different people. Something else that bothered me, I'm not by any means, I have not grinded all my characters up. I have not, gone the extra mile to make sure everybody's ready for this expansion. I know a lot of people have, and that's great, but I was at the correct mission level for every single one, or the correct power level, and I still got my butt kicked a few times, just because there's so many enemies and the AI is so useless. I had missions where, I would be defending a point, and I would go into that point, I'd be fighting, go to another section, and the mission wouldn't end. It would be stuck at, this much percentage until, the upload, the download, whatever they were doing was complete, because enemies were just stuck standing around in certain areas when then guess what? We're not timing anything. You're not waiting for this upload to get to 100. You're taking out the enemies instead of whatever. It's just really arbitrarily and weirdly put together. I really wanted this to be more than what it is. I really was hoping that this would be kind of, the Phoenix rising from the ashes of what Avengers could have been. And instead, we just get more Crystal Dynamics Avengers. If you like it, great. I really hope you enjoy War for Wakanda. If that base game didn't do enough for you, you're not going to find enough here to stick around. I don't know if I'm going to go back. Honestly, I don't think I will, given how many incredible games there are out there right now. But, I mean, it's there. It's free, which is cool. I'm glad that they didn't make you charge anything for it. And like I said, I spent about 4 to 6 hours with it. I'm sure you can spend more time doing the iconic quest chain along with a couple other things. But for me, this might be the sign of this game. I think I'm done. I'll probably come back and check out Spider-Man. But largely speaking here, if the Spider-Man expansion and whatever comes later is anything like what we've seen so far, I'm not getting my hopes up anymore. War for Wakanda is out. Black Panther is cool. Wakanda is beautiful. I just wish the mission design varied more, so we got more different kinds of things to do rather than the same 3 things over and over and over again. If you liked this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Go check out our other content. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.